before I came into the knowledge I got now, I abuse women by sleeping with women. Bruh, if I know I'm not finna really be committed to you,
Right.
I really have no business sleeping with you.
Mm-hmm.
But in our ignorant way of thinking or our premature way of thinking, it's like, damn, she bad. Like, she want to do it. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to think twice about it. Cool.
And a healthy man recognizes that a woman is an experience, not something to be conquered. That's the mindset that a man who goes around sleeping with a lot of women, they don't love women.
Yeah.
They don't respect women.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Be a Viking podcast. Today I got a new face with me. Now I need you to introduce yourself by name, age, and relationship status.
My name is Erica. I'm 22 and I am single.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna jump straight into it. Now, the first question is gonna like prelude to what we getting at. So I thought about this last night. Do you think, for the most part, Black men disrespect or abuse Black women? I say abuse more than I say disrespect. Do you think Black men abuse? Nah, like any type of abuse, whether it's physical, whether it's verbal, whether it's taking advantage of, any type of abuse you can do to somebody. Do you think if you take like a random 100 Black men, I say a good number, like, damn, that's a significant amount. Let's say over 30.
Okay, so with that, I do feel like in the Black community, period, it's just too much abuse going on, especially from a man.
Okay.
When women grow up, like, you know, the first everything we see is from our daddies. So it's like a lot of times when we experience abuse, the first people we see it from is our daddies or our brothers. And then you grow up and you get in relationships, and it's like you kind of, I would say, expect that of your partners almost. Okay. So in my opinion, it's like, it's very prevalent. Yeah. But I would also say at some point it's your mindset, how many people you are seeing in that like type of demographic, Black men who are abusing Black women. Okay. Because it's a lot of Black women who don't do that. But I would say from what we see, if we're just taking like Memphis. Yeah. Yes, way too much.
Okay. Now, before we dive into that, because you did say something that I want to go deeper into. What about the inverse of that? Do you think a lot of Black women abuse Black men?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Now really this don't even go for color, but since we are talking on Black people, women can be more verbally abusive.
Okay. I agree with that.
Hold on, something's in my eye.
Nah, you're straight.
And then, like I said, since we're talking about Black people, I'll keep it on Black people. I see Black women being more verbally abusive to Black men, and also just not generally supportive of them as a whole, which is another form of abuse. If you're not good for that person, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good point.
You doing something to their psyche if you're not good for them in that way.
What do you think the verbal abuse stems from?
It does stem. A lot of these issues, I would say, stem from Black men. Okay. They start with Black men.
Okay. I like that perspective.
Yeah, and you know, it holds a lot of truth because it's the same thing I said with Black men being abusers. Yeah. Black women learn to fight back with their words, or you know, they become violent. We say it all the time. You know, crash outs, people who can't really control their emotions. Like it's a thing, and we learn that from one, our childhood, and then two, our relationships. So I would say definitely both of them are abusive, but it starts with Black men, in my opinion.
I agree with that. That's an interesting point. Now, when you say it starts with Black men, I'm going to create a scenario. Let's say if the Black men were doing right. These are upright, righteous Black men, and these are a group of what you would consider toxic Black women. If it's 5 toxic Black women, 5 upright, righteous Black men, and these people pair up in the same community, do you think the Black men will have enough, for lack of a better word, juice to correct the women's behavior and make them more upright and righteous? Like, do you think the women will follow along in that sense? Or do you think that they will continue to be combative against the men?
It depends on their mindset. You got to be open to it. If you're not open to the change, of course you're gonna be combative.
Yeah.
But you were saying like if we get 5, what was your word?
Like upright men.
Upright
and 5. I don't like to say the word toxic because people just throw it out, but what we'll consider toxic, like let's just say that you got 5 considerably toxic Black women, and you pair these people together, will the women change or will the men change? And I don't think it's any middle ground because it's like a product of your environment type situation.
Right.
If you got 5 good and 5 bad, over time, it won't remain 5 good and 5 bad.
Right.
One of them got to give into the other one. Either the good will give into the bad or the bad will give into the good. Now, in this instance, since it's 5 upright men and 5 toxic women, who do you think will give in to the other?
I think that women will probably be more apt to change when it comes to things. I see a lot more women who will take direction from someone else versus a man. They can be too strong-headed, too egotistical. It's like they don't like to hear from other people a lot of times. So let's take a scenario where it's like 5 good men and 5 bad women. That's not gonna work. It's really not, because
you mean 5 good women and 5 bad men?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what I didn't say?
Yeah, you said the inverse at first. You said 5 good men, 5 bad women. But you mean 5 good women.
5 good women, 5 bad men.
Yeah.
You gonna really destroy yourself in the process of trying to make another person good.
Yeah.
And then let's take that adverse is like, if it was 5 good Black men and 5 toxic Black women, it's more, in my opinion, women are more prone to change, but at the same time, no, it's like an energy thing. It really is. You can't, what you said, like you can't have 5 good and 5 bad and expect them to stay the same.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna clash at some point.
Okay, so you think it's, instead of a gender thing primarily, you think it's primarily like a mindset thing, like whoever think about it in a way where it's like, I'm open to X, Y, and Z.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Now, the reason I asked the first question about do you think we're abusive towards one another, because the first type of abuse, or 2 types of abuse, we think is verbal and physical. Either I'm cursing you out, yelling at you, or I'm putting my hands on you.
Right.
Do I think like people do that too? Yeah. But I feel like on the even greater scale, we abuse each other. Like, I was just talking about this yesterday. Before I came into the knowledge I got now, I abuse women by sleeping with women. But if I know I'm not finna really be committed to you,
right,
I really have no business sleeping with you. But in our ignorant way of thinking, or our premature way of thinking, it's like, damn, she bad. Like, she want to do it? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to think twice about it. Cool. Then, now after learning about it more, I'm like, damn. For one, I'm hurting the female. Even if, because some females say, nah, I can have casual sex. I disagree.
No.
Like, I would also disagree, but in a lesser extent, that men can't have casual sex. But I damn sure agree with women can't have casual sex. So I'm like, gee, if I consider myself somebody who cared about other Black women, but I was doing X, Y, and Z, damn, I got to take the responsibility of some abuse. All right, cool. I also got to take the responsibility of hurting and abusing other Black men, because, like, let's say, bam, I sleep with this sister, or I sleep with these sisters. Eventually, these sisters gonna get with somebody, like, really settle down with somebody.
Right.
If me and that sister build a certain type of bond, and she go get with that man, and she start comparing expectations, like, oh, well, Vincent didn't do this, or the other dude didn't do this, and she start putting those expectations against her man, that's causing unnecessary friction that wouldn't be there.
Right.
If I would have kept my damn hands to myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, in a lot of different ways, that's just one way if we talk about sexual, in a lot of different ways, we cause abuse against each other. Now, we can spend some time going down the list of how many ways it is, but to save time, we all know we abuse one another, so we ain't even got to keep going down the list. I'm gonna ask you, what do you think we can do to change the process? Like, say all the abuse we caused to however many people we caused it to, what can we do now to start healing people instead of constantly abusing them?
It all starts with yourself.
Okay.
If you don't, like how you took that responsibility and you looked at Amber, you said, I'm causing harm.
Yeah.
Not just myself, but other people.
Yeah.
Then, you know, if other people took that perspective, it would cause a lot of good change. You know what I'm saying? If you're not able to sit down and look at yourself and figure out what I'm allowing in my life, what I'm causing for other people, or even for myself, then you can't expect to stop a cycle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, last episode we had talked about toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. I don't think it's a such thing as toxic or toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. But just because I know what people getting at when they say it, I'm like, cool, let's talk about it. I feel like it's an oxymoron to say something is toxic and masculine or toxic and feminine. Femininity and masculinity are divine things from God.
Right.
For you to say something is toxic and divine, that's stupid. That's an oxymoron. So I'm like, I don't believe that's even a thing. I believe the only thing that is toxic is when you branch away from masculinity and femininity.
Yeah.
Let's say, I'm just brush over it. Let's say it's only 3 aspects to masculinity: honesty, protection, providing. It's way more than that, because just bear with me. I'm just trying to brush over it. Cool. Let's say them 3 things: honesty, providing, protection. When you branch away from one of these 3, then stuff becomes toxic.
Okay, yeah.
You doing one of these 3. There's no way something can be toxic and these 3. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, when you become abusive, folks will say, that's toxic masculinity. Well, if one of the pillars is protection, and I'm starting to be an abuser, obviously, I'm not in the realm of masculinity no more. So the only time toxic stuff enters is when masculinity leaves.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. And I feel the same way about femininity. But
that's a good perspective.
Yeah,
I like that.
But for the sake of conversation, what do you think are some toxic masculinity things that men do?
Obviously, sleeping with a lot of women.
Yeah. Damn, I done asked this question like 3-4 times. I think that's the only time somebody say that. That should be one of the top things you would think folks say. I think that's the first time somebody say that.
You gotta realize that's an energetic exchange. Yeah. You taking your energy, you going to one person, going to the next person. Yeah. You got them messed up. Now they thinking about people they don't even know. Like, that's just, it's too much. That would be toxic to me.
Okay.
Obviously lying. If you can't be honest to yourself and honest to others, then that's not a good space that you in, whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
So I guess I could just really say both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good for a woman to sleep around either.
Okay.
I would also say lack of ambition is a big thing. And you wouldn't think necessarily of it being toxic, but it's toxic to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have any goals, any aspirations, you don't even know what you want your life to look like in the next 3 to 5 years. You're really doing yourself a disservice.
Just wake up, smoke, play the game.
Yeah, oh my God. You wake up, all you do is smoke, drink. Like, come on.
But I know folks, there's like grown men. They don't worry about nothing but where the weed at, where the bottles at, what female I'm finna sleep with.
I know something like this.
Like, damn. The females that ain't gonna want you if you ain't got your life together. Like,
exactly.
Say if I run game on you in whatever type of way, bam, I get you falling for me. Cool. Let's say we do whatever we do, bam, we rocking out. Eventually, you gonna leave anyway, because when time go on, the wool gonna come off of your eyes eventually.
Oh, yeah.
So eventually, when you start seeing me for who I really am, you gonna leave anyway.
Right.
So it's
if you're strong-minded, a lot of people will stay.
Yeah. But it's like, bro, for you to put all your energy into chasing a female, and don't get me wrong, women are so, what's the word? Like pleasurable. You will want to like do whatever I gotta do to get the women. Like I understand it, but like it ain't nothing like having a female you locked in with. I get it. Yeah. But she gonna leave anyway if you ain't got your stuff together.
Yeah, and a healthy man recognizes that a woman is an experience, not something to be conquered. That's the mindset that a man who goes around sleeping with a lot of women, they don't love women. Yeah. They don't respect women. Yeah.
I feel like that's a good point. Like we think we love and respect somebody. I heard a brother say, love is a duty word. Like we treat love like an emotion word. Right. Like love is when you are able to sacrifice and perform X, Y, and Z duties for this person. Mm-hmm. And in exchange, they perform X, Y, and Z duties for you.
Right.
Especially when we just sleeping around with women. Bro, we not interested in performing no goddamn duty for nobody.
They damn near don't even want to get you flowers.
Like what? Like right, I was just talking with my brother about that the other day. I'm like, the whole time, because we was talking about this like one little simple thing he did for a female he was rocking with. And the female had said, like, I just go into it more so it'll make sense. I'm just not gonna say his name, but it be out there. But he just got done having sex with this female. Cool. After they got done having sex, he went to go like grab himself something to eat, snack on or something. He grabbed her something to drink. Cool. She was thirsty. Cool. Bam. After he brought her something to drink back, she said, and this what really got me and him thinking. We like, damn, hold on. She was like, oh, I don't think nobody ever went and got me nothing to drink like right after or whatever. Oh. Bam. He told me that. We on the phone. I'm like, hold on, stop. I'm thinking. Bruh, she said nobody ain't never did something as simple as grab her something to drink. Well, after doing that or whatever. Okay, cool. So then me and him get to thinking, I'm like, wait, fool, it sound crazy that she's saying that. But I'm like, fool, I never did that before. Like,
really?
Yeah, I'm like right when we done with the I'm like, I never did that. And then he stopped and he was like, fool, that was my first time doing it. I'm like, damn, so we thinking. And I'm like, gee, it's crazy that how you see it. Like, bro, we ain't really showing love to somebody we just sleeping around with. I'm like, bro, something as simple as you said grabbing flowers. It's more simple than that. Going in the other room and grabbing a damn drink for this person. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm thinking like, okay, cool. Fool, what is this like really saying? For one, it's saying, I ain't gonna lie, it's probably stating that there's somebody we weren't supposed to be sleeping with anyway, because if you never went to go grab something to eat or went to go grab something to drink or whatever, after whatever y'all do, you probably ain't had that experience with this person often. So if it was just a couple times thing and then it stopped, y'all stopped talking, you weren't supposed to be doing that with that person in the first place. So I'm just thinking when she said that, well, when he told me she said that, I'm like, fool, that's really crazy. Because something as simple as grabbing the juice for this person, we skipped all the little baby steps and jumped to the big extreme step of having sex with this person.
But you can't grab that person.
But we can't grab this person.
That's kind of crazy.
Exactly. So I'm like, well, when you think about it, like in the moment, you don't think that deep. You like, damn, this person really cool. This person really attractive. This person find me cool, find me attractive. Things lead to where they lead. Bam. People say, I'm grown. I can, all right, cool. But I'm like, gee, it's really crazy because if I won't grab this person no drink, imagine if this person get pregnant. Like,
oh, exactly.
That'll be crazy.
Man, a lot of people will lay down with people they wouldn't even think to have a child with.
What? Like, if I think about the women I slept with, these women might be 10 out of 10. Like, they look amazing, but this is not the type of woman have a baby with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all this stuff, hindsight though. I'm thinking, looking back on it, like, bruh, if anything would have went left, and I would have had a baby, would I?
Would have been messed up. More important,
I feel like the part where you was like, a woman is not to be conquered, that made me think of something. What do you feel about men being controlling over their woman? Like, expound on that, because it's something within it that I want to touch on.
Okay. I'm going to speak from my experience.
Okay.
So, I think the ways that men try to control a woman is more secretive almost. It's more like sliding under the rug almost type of thing. Women,
what you mean?
Because like, take it like this. If a woman is controlling a man, you could tell like she where you at, who you with, all that type of stuff. A man is more like, you shouldn't wear that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's two sides to that. There's some things you shouldn't wear, right?
Okay.
Out of respect for yourself, not even for a partner. You know, just out of respect for yourself. But in my experience, I think I've seen more men try to control me in a way that like kept my personality locked in. Like,
what
you know
were some of these ways? So you said the way you dress. What else?
Yeah, the way I dress, the way I speak, who I speak to.
What do you mean the way you speak?
Okay. I used to date this guy who was, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. He was from Orange Mound, right?
Okay.
Now, people like to call me bougie or like all those type of synonyms. It's really just, they don't feel like they're able to give what I expect.
Okay.
But this particular person, hold on, what was I talking about?
The way he was controlling.
No, it's something specific I was trying to hit on with him. How I speak.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we traveled a couple times, and he never liked that I was more outspoken. I was more sure in my words.
Okay, outspoken to him or to the other? Okay.
Others, and it didn't even have to be men. It was just the fact that he didn't like to see me shining. You know what I'm saying? So if it was any way that he could like dumb me down,
can you give me an example of like a scenario so I can like understand it a little bit more on the way you will talk to other people?
Okay. Because he didn't have the same skills that I had as far as like communication. Okay. We went on this cruise together one time.
Okay.
And I was very open, talking to everybody, you know, had a good time. And I would see that he started getting a little bit jealous.
Okay.
Yeah. And it turned out because of his jealousy, he went off trying to approach another woman. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes people will try to keep you down so much. And then if they see you doing something that they feel like they can't do.
Yeah.
You know, they'll act out in them ways.
Okay, so you were more just a better sociable person than him, and
I made better money.
Okay,
you know, it was just like it was a lot of things that I think hit on his ego.
Okay,
that he didn't like. I had, and he didn't.
Okay, now let me ask you this: because like it sounded like you said, you just having a good time. Y'all around people, y'all on these big ass cruise. Like, you'll talk to people. Like, Are you around all these people? You would just strike up conversation. Cool, enjoy yourself. Now, with the striking up conversation, was it, I'm not going to say a lot, but was it a significant amount of conversation with other men? Because I'm thinking of it in a way where, let's say, if my woman is being sociable, talking to people, if she constantly like talking to women, it's like, bro, it's no problem in it. Yeah. But if she's striking up conversation with men, I tell women this all the time. You might think it's nothing. It's only a platonic situation. Right. You might not find the other dude attractive. Even if he's attractive, you might not like be like, nah, I'm just not on there. I got my man. Like, you might be thinking in that way. A man to see an attractive woman, and the attractive woman is showing she got a cool personality through the conversation, and in his head, it might be she is also showing interest in him for striking up conversation. Because I put it like this. A lot of times the dudes go after the women, right? Mm-hmm. So if the man feel like in any way the woman is coming on to him, it's like an instant, like she gotta be really feeling me. Cause usually the way a woman like feeling a dude or whatever, she'll just make herself, I'm gonna let him pass or her pass. So usually the way a woman will like let a dude know that she feeling him, she'll just make herself approachable. Mm-hmm. Whether they look like just being around a dude, like giving him the opportunity to shoot his shot, or whatever it look like in their situation. Yeah, she'll make herself approachable. And when she approach or when he approach, she'll give him the time of day. Cool, man, start from there. That's usually how it goes. So if it seemed like the woman is the one doing the approaching, the dude like, oh yeah, this gotta be in the bag for sure. You see what I'm saying? So even if you not really on that type of timing, as a man, I understand other men on that type of timing.
Yeah,
you see
I
what I'm
do
saying?
too.
So when you were like conversing with other men, it might have came off in that way. Even if you not on that type of time, if you just a sociable person, because I got a homegirl named Destiny. Destiny's sociable as hell. And a lot of people know Destiny. So like if we go somewhere, everybody chop it up with Destiny. Cool. But to the like people outside of this, like we just know like, bruh, she's super sociable and a lot of people know her. Mm-hmm. Like she ain't even necessarily flirt with nobody. Right. But like just looking at it from the outside looking in, you would think, oh, like Destiny flirting with a lot of people because that's the way it's perceived if a woman is just chopping it up with a lot, especially if she got a man.
Right. And let me make it very clear because I was never talking about men when I said that he didn't like how approachable I was. Okay. It was a company trip. Okay. So it was really people that I worked with. He knew all these people. He would come in all the time and see him. It was just, that's why I highlighted the fact of where he was from. Okay. Because we spoke differently. And if I said something, he would automatically think that I was demeaning him. Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. It wasn't so. I don't go around speaking to men. Yeah. I don't approach men. Okay. I don't do that. It's just like, if we're having fun, I'm gonna talk to who I gotta talk to. Yeah. And if you can't keep up with that is not my fault. Okay. That's what I mean.
Like it was yesterday. I ran into like a similar situation. My woman at work. Some dude that like used to work there, Starbucks working with her, and he tried to chop it up with her. Like, cool, she just conversing back, not to be rude. Mm-hmm. And then from the conversation, like I said, and I'm not telling women to be an asshole, but don't necessarily keep the conversation going because just from like responding to what he's saying, just try not to be rude. He like, you want to go grab some lunch? No, jackass. But like I was saying, that's where it'll head. Like in a dude head, especially if this a dude who probably don't get a lot of attractive women. Attractive women not only giving them the time of day, but like saying really cool and interesting. Like, damn, like let me go for it. But if you say you weren't even talking to dudes, I ain't gonna lie. I can't help him out. I can't defend him.
Yeah, I know you heard the term like, obviously you could take a boy out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the boy, that type of thing. He didn't want to be bigger than what he was. So it's not the problem of where he was from. It was that his mindset was so small. Okay. And he would come to me in that type of way.
Okay, now what was this the same dude that would try to change your wardrobe?
No.
Okay, that's a different dude.
Yeah, that was a different dude.
Okay. Explain that situation. Like what made him say it? Like what type of clothing was he wearing? And two, how did he say it? Because I feel like the two is actually more important than the one. But we'll get into that after you go.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the backstory on it first of all.
Okay. We're gonna stop this episode right here. And we're gonna have the other episode set aside for what we're finna go into right now. And bruh, this part is so good, bruh. highly recommend y'all go check that out and watch that when that drop, or if it already dropped, whatever order I'm gonna post these videos in. But where it just stopped at, what we finna talk about, man, we was talking about wardrobe, man. She was giving her take on it, giving my take on it. Y'all know a lot of our sisters like thoughts on that. And y'all, if y'all heard me talk about the subject before, y'all know my thoughts on it. But talking about it with this sister, bruh, it was a great conversation. So go check it out. I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. Hope y'all appreciated it. Hope y'all gained something from it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Get it with me on the next episode of the DontBeAViking podcast. And y'all see my throat getting a little better. I ain't as sick as I was, so we're making some progress. Appreciate y'all.